So the next reports that we'll be looking at are the sector reports. These look at how investment and performance vary among major business sectors. To basically just kind of looks at it like by industries and types of business. So to get to these reports, let's scroll down to the sector section and then you can go to the 4 reports here. First one we're going to look at is the trending report. This looks at kind of how performance varies by sector and compares it to the overall S&P 500. So the first thing you see is this select time frame button. You kind of looks at how you can look at the time frame of the data. So whichever time period you want to look at, and you can customize the data for that. We'll look at 6 months just to get kind of a wider view. So right up here, you see S&P 500. You see the growth there. And then how that and then you look at how that compares by sector. You have like technology, communication services, financial services. They're all like these ones are growing faster than the stock market as a whole. But then you have ones like basic materials, real estate, and healthcare that are growing slower than the stock market. And then you have ones like energy, consumer defensive, and utilities that are seeing decreases. So that helps you look at how each sector is performing relative to the market as a whole. So that's this table to the left. And then for this table to the right, it looks at different stocks in a particular sector, looks at that sector's growth as a whole, and as well as which stocks are seeing the highest percent return. So right now it's showing technology. But if you wanted to switch to maybe communication services, you can click on this one to the left, and then it'll change. And then it'll show the different top performing stocks from that sector, so that way you can make it customized based on what you're looking for. And then if you want to filter by date, you can do it here. So maybe you don't have to do just based on that one, just based on the time frames up top. And if you want to go to sort, you can sort by different stocks, different sectors, the percent change, price difference. So give you some customization to look at. So next we're going to look at all institutions. This looks at how different institutions are investing in particular sectors, which sectors are seeing the most institutional investment. For this example, we'll look at basic materials. So this report kind of looks at the major institutional investments and sees which stocks of a particular sector are seeing the most institutional investment. So they're sorted from most institutional investment in the latest quarter to the least institutional investment. So you get a look at the stock, the company, the symbol, the institutional investment, the hedge fund investment, as well as more general information like overall volume, hedge fund volume, and then return, percent return year to date, 1 year, and 5 years. So it gives you a lot of comprehensive information. And as with always, you can kind of filter based on specific values, and you can sort based on maybe you can sort on a particular value. Like if you wanted to see which one had the highest current price or had the highest volume, you could do it that. So you can kind of customize the view that way. Next, we will look at top 10 hedge funds. This is similar to the previous report, but instead of institutional investment, it just shows hedge funds. So it's, I chose the communication service sector, but then it looks at the highest hedge fund investment. And then it shows, so basically sorted from most hedge fund investments among the top 10 to least hedge fund investment. And then it shows volume for the current quarter, the previous quarter, how that's changed, the total hedge fund volume, and then you have year to date for percent return, 1 year percent return, and 5 year percent return. So kind of a similar format to the institution one, but just for hedge funds. And then last, but most definitely not least, we have allocations. This looks at allocations by sector, I should say. This looks at how institutions in the stock market among major investments among major institutions in the stock market, how it varies by sector and how that compares over time. So the first thing you see is this pie chart, this nice colored pie chart. So this is for the latest quarter, and it gives a visual representation of which sectors are seeing the most institutional investment. Technology is seeing the most investment right here. Then you have utilities with, a smaller slice of the pie. And yeah, it kind of lets you see which ones are seeing the most institutional investment for the latest quarter. But then you have this table here And this shows how that investment varies by quarter. It shows the previous 8 quarters, so about the previous 2 years. And you kind of look at for how that compares over time, what's growing, what's declining, what's staying the same. So it gives you a good broad view of it. And then as always, you can kind of, with the filter and sort, you can kind of filter for which sectors you would like to include or exclude. So maybe you want to have just look at one particular sector or just a set of them. And with the sort, you can sort the data by maybe by category, by sector, by like which industry you'd like to look at, or maybe you'd like to sort by most to least allocation in the latest quarter. It lets you customize the view of it. So these reports let you see how institutions are investing by business sector and industry. So if you're looking to invest in a particular industry, and maybe you want to see which stocks and you want to see which stocks within that industry fit your portfolio needs, this could be really helpful for you. Again, this is another report that helps you see how institutions are investing so you can model their success.